Class, today's lesson is on the digestive system, and this will be the last of the three systems that we'll be exploring in our class. The digestive system, its role is to supply nutrients to the body. So uh, we get lots of different nutrients from food, and we need to turn them into energy and building materials for our cells. Right? And we need a constant supply of energy and a constant supply of these materials because our body is always making uh, making more cells, right? So as you remember from Unit 1, we have different types of molecules that we need to ingest in our body in order for this to happen. And these nutrients include carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, and minerals, right? Carbohydrates and fats for energy. Proteins can be used for energy as well, but usually they're used for building blocks for new proteins in our body. Vitamins and minerals, remember, minerals are elements that our body needs to live. So we are going to look at the function of the digestive system in four parts. Um, so we know the overall goal is to supply nutrients to the body, right? Including carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, and minerals, but it's a four-step process. So when we're using our digestive system, we go through ingestion first, digestion second, absorption third, and elimination fourth. So here we have a little digestive system, and we'll talk about the four stages and when they happen. So the word ingestion starts with in, right? And this is what food goes in your body, right? Ingestion, food enters your digestive system, food goes in your body. And that begins in the mouth, right? That's, I hope, where everybody puts their food when they're looking to put it into their body, right? Um, but then immediately when you put food in your mouth, digestion starts to occur. Digestion is the process of breaking food down. So maybe we'll make some notes on this side. So ingestion food goes in your body. Digestion means food is broken down, right? We're we're going to make smaller parts. So there are two things in your mouth that help you start digestion. You have your teeth that are a part of physical digestion. Physical digestion is using not a chemical, but a part of your body to the movement of a part of your body to break food down. So physical digestion would be like your teeth, and chemical digestion would be like your saliva. Okay, so physical digestion, food is broken physically down into smaller pieces, physically down, broken down, right? So that means basically by movement. And when we break things down chemically, it's usually via like enzymes and, hydrolysis. Remember hydrolysis when we broke up a big chain of glucoses, right? That would be like a form of chemical digestion. Okay, so it says digestive enzymes break down because digestive enzymes are chemicals, they're proteins, proteins are chemicals. Digestive enzymes break food pieces into smaller microscopic molecules, right? You can't see a glucose under the, actually, you can't see a glucose under a microscope. It's too small. You would need like a very fancy electron microscope. But yeah, okay. So the two types of digestion, you do both in your mouth, right? Then digestion continues in the stomach, right? So you can see the 1 and 2 outside the mouth. That means it does number 1, which is ingestion, and number 2, which is digestion. Digestion will continue in the stomach, and that will be both physical and chemical too. So we have physical and chemical digestion, and chemical with saliva. And then in your stomach, you also have physical digestion. And this is when your stomach churns, right? It's a big muscle and it moves and it can mix your food around. And then, you have also stomach acid and enzymes, right? So physical and chemical digestion happen in the mouth. They also happen in the stomach. Um, then we get to the small intestine. And the small intestine does do some digestion, but it only does chemical digestion. So there's nothing really in the intestine that will help you break up food like your teeth or like the muscles in your stomach. And then after the digestion is finished, absorption starts. This is a new stage of the digestive process, right? Absorption is when molecules go from your digestive system to your bloodstream. So here we have an interaction with your circulatory system. And so we have food that gets absorbed in your small intestine, and we have water that gets absorbed by your large intestine. Okay. Um, so fats, lipids, carbohydrates, right, are considered food. And water and some vitamins are in the large intestine. So um, I'm going to just add in vitamins over here. Okay. And then after we have absorbed all of the nutrient parts of food, the rest is removed from our body, right? We call that elimination in science, right? But it's just a fancy word for pooping. And so that happens at the end of your digestive system. Okay. Um, Now, let's take a look at the roles of some of the organs in your digestive system. The human digestive system is basically a long tube that begins at the mouth and ends at the anus. The long tube is called your digestive tract. Okay. Most of the organs in your digestive system are part of your digestive tract. So we can see the mouth, right? That's involved in ingestion and physically breaking down food with your teeth, and chemically breaking down food with your saliva, right? Especially carbohydrates. So carbohydrates are what is broken down in your mouth with your saliva. The next part of your digestive tract would be your pharynx. Remember, pharynx means throat. So your pharynx is part of your respiratory system and your digestive system, because it connects your mouth with your esophagus and your nose with your windpipe, right? So its job is to reroute things, right? And you have that epiglottis flap that is closed when you're eating and open when you're breathing. The esophagus is your food tube, the tube between your throat and your stomach, and it does peristalsis. Peristalsis is very much like swallowing. So your esophagus is a large muscular tube, and it does automatic contractions that deliver your food to your stomach. Or if you're sick, those chemical contractions go the other way, and they're what make you vomit. You have your stomach. Your stomach will churn and mix food, and it contains um, chemical digestion of proteins. So you start digesting carbohydrates in the mouth, you start digesting proteins in the stomach, and then everything finishes up in the intestine. So the intestine has enzymes to break down everything. So it can break down carbohydrates, lipids, and proteins, right? So everything gets chemically digested a little bit in the small intestine. And then we have, absorption starts to happen with these food molecules in the small intestine. Large intestine is also a part of absorption, and it collects water, vitamins, minerals, and then whatever is left over becomes feces. And then you have a little pouch at the end of your large intestine called your rectum, and that is where your feces sits and waits to be eliminated. And then you have your anus, which does the eliminating, right? So all of these things are part of your food tube. Your food passes through them. So the food passes through what's called your digestive tract. Okay. Any part of your digestive system that is part of the tube between your mouth and your anus is called your digestive tract. There are parts of your digestive system that the food does not pass through, and those are called accessory organs. They include your salivary glands. So your salivary glands are near your mouth, right? But they're not in your mouth. They're outside of your mouth. So food does not pass through them. Their job is to make saliva, right? With the enzymes and water necessary to break down carbohydrates, right? So salivary glands, they make saliva and enzymes. Then you have lower in your digestive system your liver. Your liver produces bile. Bile is a chemical which emulsifies fat. Basically, bile breaks down fat into small droplets. Okay, so again, it's basically secreting a chemical that helps in digestion. Then you have your gallbladder. Your gallbladder stores the bile until you eat something fatty. It's a little teeny tiny pouch. And then you have your pancreas. Your pancreas is one of the most important organs in your digestive system. It's where all of the enzymes um, come from that help you digest food in your small intestine, right? So that's a really important organ. And a lot of people who have digestive problems, really they have problems with their pancreas. Okay. So all four of these things, the salivary glands, the liver, the gallbladder, and the pancreas, they are part of the digestive system. They help you digest your food, but food does not pass through them. So they're not part of the digestive tract. They are called accessory organs. All right. So we're going to end this lesson here, and then we're going to come back with another lesson on a little bit more in depth on how the different parts of your digestive system digest food.